Hello, and thank you for coming to the Muddy Waters Effect. I'm your host, Matt. And first thing I want to ask y'all is to please hit like and subscribe after you watch the video, and it helps the channel grow. Let's get on with the show. We're going to be talking about how Biden looks weak to other countries. And the first thing I want to talk about is Biden tripping 3 times while boarding Air Force One. That does not look good towards the rest of the world. They look at Joe Biden, they see him do that, and they're thinking he's weak. Especially when it comes to Asia. Asia, if you show any weakness, they try to take as much from you as possible. That's why whenever Trump was in there, he tried to project strength as much as he could. Especially with dealing with China, North Korea, and Russia. Now, when Biden fell, that wasn't the only thing that made Biden look weak. Another thing that's making Biden look weak is his speaking, him not even talking to world leaders. He's letting Kamala Harris do that. Also staying away from the press. It makes it look like he's trying to hide something, like he's sick or something like that's going on to the rest of the world. Now, China and the U.S. just had their first meeting under Biden's administration. It happened in Alaska, and it got off to a rocky start because the first thing China asked was for trade relations to go back to normal and to end all tariffs on all trade with China. Now, Biden said when he got in office, more than likely he was not going to change anything from what Trump did with China. In my opinion, I think he's going to change his mind and change some things. Especially since most of the people who donated from him want trade to go back to normal with China. And that's the reason they supported him against Trump. But in my opinion, if he does do this, it makes him look weak. It makes China look like they're running all over him. And he's going to do what they ask him to do. Just like the Republicans said he was going to do. And Donald Trump said it was going to happen. So he might just do the complete opposite and just keep the tariffs still instated against him. I don't know. But if he was smart, he would do that. And he's also having some issues with Russia. He had that little story about him supposedly calling Vladimir Putin to his face a killer. He didn't do that. It's one of his embellishments. And he has quite a few. And that's definitely one of them. And then Putin challenged him to a debate. And of course, Biden backed out of it. No, I'm not going to have a debate with you, blah, blah, blah. It's just that he was better off just keeping his mouth shut, not saying anything like that. And now you got a U.S. envoy saying Americans are apologizing to Putin for what Biden said. That's the worst thing you could do. That'd be like going on Twitter after you said something stupid and apologizing to it. That just feeds a frenzy. No, you do not do that. Best thing to do is just let dogs lay and see, and it'll go away after a while. I mean, it's a dumbass comment. What's going to come out of it? Nothing. There was nothing hurting anybody when it came to the comment, and why would you apologize for it? I just don't understand that. Now you got North Korea rolling out U.S. talks and takes a jab at the visit of Biden's envoy. Another country North Korea is mad at is Malaysia. They have ended all relations with Malaysia because Malaysia and the United States have signed an extradition treaty with each other. So if any criminals go to Malaysia, the United States can ask for them to be deported back to the United States. And North Korea doesn't like that because that can include North Korean citizens. So they dropped all relations with them. North Korea took all their diplomats out of Malaysia, and Malaysia has shut down their embassy as well. Now, this story kind of concerns me because a photo shows North Korea might be trying to extract plutonium. All right, first thing, the media gets it wrong all the time. Iraq War, perfect example. And this concerns me because when they get involved in the media, they seem to always want their first reaction is like, United States need to go to war. They're part of that military-industrial complex. They definitely have associations with it. North Korea is somewhere we don't want to go. First thing, they have nuclear weapons. We know that. Their missiles are getting better and better. They're a country that they don't really have anything to lose if they got into a fight with us. And now you got the stuff that's going on down at the border that the Democrats aren't calling a crisis, but behind the scenes they are. And Republicans are loving it to the point where they're going on all the shows and talking about it and just pushing it down his face and pushing the narrative. And there's several countries that are actually concerned about what's going on at the border, especially Mexico. Mexico's alarmed by it. And what they're alarmed by is Biden empowering the traffickers because the traffickers work for the drug cartels in Mexico. So it's getting them money, making it where it's easier for them to fight not only against the U.S., but also against the Mexican government. We're just giving them profit because it's $10,000 per head getting people there for them. That's a lot of money. And they don't even have to do anything. All they're doing is escorting people from point A to point B. And that is it. And the president of El Salvador talked immigration crisis with Tucker Carlson. And what he was most concerned about is the people in his country that are the best and brightest going to the United States instead of staying in El Salvador and helping their economy to recover from the economic downturn they just had. The president of El Salvador has a right to be concerned. With all those people leaving, coming to the U.S., and some of those are the best workers that El Salvador has, it's going to be hard for his economy to recover. So it might keep him in his recession longer. Them immigrating there is not going to help El Salvador at all. Matter of fact, it's going to hurt them. These are all concerns I have with the president right now. Whether or not he's actually mentally fit to be president, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. What I'm seeing is I don't think he is. And he certainly isn't projecting strength against enemies like China, Russia, and North Korea. And then when it comes to dealing with the border crisis, he's definitely not projecting strength by just letting people in, especially with COVID going on. He needs to shut down the border and have strict border control until COVID is straightened out. And then first thing he needs to do is actually, I think, finish the wall and then redo all of immigration, such as making it easier for you to get here, make it cheaper for you to get here, make it where you don't have to take the citizen test. That test, most Americans can't pass it. So why do we expect people from other countries to pass it? Now, there should be like 3 or 4 things we should make sure that they know before they become U.S. citizens. Know how to speak English, understand what the Constitution is about. It just would make more sense. Okay, what do I think you should do? Number 1, I already said what you should do with the border. What you should do with North Korea? Start the talks back up. Get help from South Korea. Get help from China, Russia, anyone you can. And when you get the talks start up, project strength. You have to go to North Korea like Donald Trump did. He's the first president that's been in North Korea, over 80 years? A lot of Democrats spoke ill of that. I thought it was a good thing. When you go and talk to your enemies, that's how peace is created. That's what you need to do. And then when it comes to China, you need to project strength and not take down those tariffs. Keep them on there. Matter of fact, I would elevate them. And then when it comes to Russia, first thing, we got tariffs and we got sanctions on Russia. I would elevate them as well. Make them stronger because they're becoming bad actors in the Middle East as well as in parts of Europe. The only way we're going to be able to curb it is by tariffs and by talks with them. You got to project strength when you do it. And stop talking shit when you're doing sit-down interviews. And what really looks bad is, and makes you look weak, is when you say stuff like that and it comes out to be not true. Alright guys, this is the end of my rant. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. But please come back, hit like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Peace.